This is He Knows the Sport, bringing you that heat and that far. We keeping the foot on the what? On the Knicks. We keeping the foot on the what? On the Knicks. And like the Tibetan master that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? It bursts his pipes. Now let's talk about it, man. See, people have to understand that Deontay Wilder, and that, I've been saying this, man, and y'all don't understand when I say this shit. Deontay Wilder is going to continuously get clowned. Now we get it. Blue Blood Sports TV's feeling some type of way. Blue Blood Sports TV's mad. He's hot and bothered like fucking grits. You're a blue finch straddling TV guy, man. The problem with the LDBC is they hung their hat on two guys that ain't doing much of shit. Devin Haney being an email fucking champion and Deontay Wilder taking a paid to fucking lose. Y'all hung y'all hats on the wrong motherfuckers. If you was gonna hang your hat, you should have hung it on Floyd Money Mayweather and not fucking hate. Hung it on Earl the True Spence, not fucking hate. Not be ravening wolves, i.e. really Bud Man fans. Intermingling and masking yourselves in sheep's clothing as fake as fuck Earl the True Spence fans. Not hate on the Charlo brothers. Not hate on Javante Tank Davis. See, y'all would have had variety. Because if you say you bought your own, this is the variety of it. I left that plantation. I was never fucking on it. But I left that rabbit ass plantation a long time ago because I saw that when it was all said and done, it didn't make fucking sense. Because when it's all said and done, we have to ask ourselves underlying questions. We have to ask ourselves underlying truths. And you know what the fuck that is, y'all? What the fuck that is, which is as simple as this, is as simple as that. That we have to tell ourselves delineations. We have to tell ourselves distinctions. We have to tell ourselves gulfs, and we have to tell ourselves separations. And what the fuck is that? That when it's all said and done, that the biggest caveat that we get out of the bullshit and the fuck shit that's associated, and when I say associated, I'm talking about associated with Deontay Wilder, is as simple as this. He tainted his legacy. He took a paid to fucking lose. Anyone that's using the true boxing eye test, that's not lying to you, that's not deluding your brain. Because I sat there and went back and rationalized this shit. And I said, okay, hold up. Bob Arum and Frank Warren, they don't see, motherfuckers want to pick and choose. Blue Finch Straddler TV done told you boxing is dark. Go look at his fucking catalog. This motherfucker done told you that boxing is a dark sport. But they pick and choose, man. They're selective when they want to tell you this shit. You can't pick and choose when boxing is a dark sport, all because it doesn't fit your selective, biased theology. This is facts over feelings, man. This is logic over fucking bias. We don't deal in fucking bias and we don't deal in fucking feelings. We deal in fucking facts and we deal in logic. And the facts tell us that Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren told us that there was going to be a trilogy before the first punch was thrown in the first fight. So you know there had to be nonsense that was going to happen to cause this trilogy to get to where it's at. The trilogy is going to happen. Because He Knows the Sport in Prediction King fashion told you this. But at the same time, look at the clown nation that Deontay Wilder is getting. Notice when Tyson Fury got knocked the fuck out in the first fight. Because that's really technically what he got. He didn't get clowned for it. His fight fans made excuses and justifications to say he outboxed Deontay Wilder, blah, 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 even though he had an Undertaker fucking moment. See, I'm laughing my rabbit ass off because I could sit here and laugh. And what I'm laughing at is the fact that there's double standards that's associated with boxing. If you're not a black fighter, they will make all fucking excuses. Look at Cinnamon Dust Horchata of Alvarez. They will make fucking excuses for you. Tiafimo Super Duper Hot Job Variation Lopez. They will make excuses for you. But when you're a black fighter, there is no excuse. Javante Tank Davis didn't lose, but look at all the shit he's getting. Earl the True Spence didn't lose, look at all the shit he's getting. Charlo brothers ain't lose, look at all the shit they getting, because they PBCers. Deontay Wilder, you're a PBCer, man. You should know fucking better. When they brought that trilogy your way, even if you signed on that shit, you should have pulled a fucking switch and bait on their ass. You should have pulled a wolf over their ass. You wanted the money? Go ahead and get your check. But in the meantime, knock that motherfucking Tyson Fury out. and then tell him arbitration that. Because if you knock Tyson Fury out in the second fight fans will be so glamorized by the way you knocked him out that the powers that be, even though they would have been mad that you didn't allow this shit to be a fucking trilogy, they would have said, okay, let's go on for Wilder and Joshua. See, there's ways around shit, man. This is why you need somebody like a He Knows the Sport in your corner, dog, to advise you on how to do shit the right fucking way and how to see the bigger fucking picture here. If you would have done that, they would have acted as if you didn't fucking existed, man. But you didn't do that bullshit. You didn't do that fuck shit. You did the bullshit and the fuck shit of, I'm just going to take a dive. This is what you did. And now you have a dent in your fucking skull because of the dive. Now you have to ask yourself, was the dive really fucking worth it? Was the dive something that was really affordable to you? Was the dive something that really didn't have a ramification against your boxing career? You gotta ask yourself these cold-hearted. You gotta ask yourself these unadulterated. And you gotta ask yourself these cutthroat, truth-telling fashion that's associated with what you did to yourself, man. Because what you did put you in a precarious situation. And what is the precarious situation that your rabbit ass put your monkey ass into? The fact that you got a dent in your damn skull. Because medical evaluations, medical assessments, medical opinions, them shits don't fucking lie, man. They tell you and they paint a fucking picture. All because of a guy who's pillow-fisted, loaded his fucking gloves up to beat the shit out of your ass so they can prop his crackfiend, twitching ass the fuck up. And then at the same time, lynch your Negro ass and bring you the fuck back down. We've already been lynched 400 to 500 plus years. Why add on to that? Well, why add on to the embarrassment? This is why I respect Floyd Money Mayweather when he's like, I'm not taking no fucking L's for some damn dollars. I'm going to run my business affairs the way I want to. Why do you think they hate Floyd so much? Same thing with Andre Ward. Andre Ward was willing to go through litigations. You know why he went through legal arbitration and litigation? Y'all need to do your homework. They was trying to make Andre Ward take fucking dives. And Ward wasn't about that bullshit and fuck shit. So he said, I don't mind losing years off of my boxing career because y'all ain't gonna do that shit to me. Earl the True Spence. All these motherfuckers that try to sign his ass. They tried to sign his ass with the intention that they were going to try to take the truth out of Earl the True Spence. And Spence saw right through that shit. That's why he signed with Al Heyman from the jump. Because he saw the bullshit a mile away. They were going to try to rob him fiscally, and they were going to try to rob him financially, and they were going to try to rob him physically. Let me say it again. They were going to try to rob him fiscally, they were going to try to rob him financially, and they were going to try to rob him physically, man. And Spence wasn't about that bullshit and fuck shit. Charlo Brothers saw that shit a mile away. That's why they ran their ass away from Golden Boy Promotions. Notice all of the PBCers are damn near 99.9% used to be with Golden Boy Promotions, man, because they saw that bullshit and fuck shit that Oscar De La Hoya was on. Because he don't care about these black fighters. He just want to prop up his fucking own. I done told you guys, all of these other people that's from these other cultures and these other races, they're about their own. So what's wrong with me being a black person being about my fucking own? And that's why I'm saddened by what Deontay Wilder did. This shit tainted his fucking legacy. I'm never almost ready to kick his ass completely out of the fucking door. But I'm not going to lose hope on him. Because there's something about Deontay Wilder that even when you want to just kick the motherfucker in the damn face and ask this motherfucker, why the fuck did you do that bullshit and fuck shit? Or punch some damn sense to his ass. You ask yourself, damn, okay, what is the real reasoning behind it? Actually, the more that I talk about this shit, the more I feel sorry for my brother, man. Because I could see the level of copping out and the level of sellout that he did. And I'm not going to be that person to just keep kicking him down. I'm going to elevate him and exhort him and bring him up. But I'm not going to stop telling the truth about what I know is to be true. Because boxing is a three-pronged monster: economics, politics, and pugilism. And if we say this, we have to be unquestionably, unequivocally, and without fail, line upon line and precept upon precept, 1,000% about this. You can't just pick and choose when it is this and when it's not. Just like Vasily Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez. Robbery and robbery at its highest levels, man. This shit happens in boxing. Bob Arum is around all of this fucking bribery and robbery that happens in boxing. Notice he was part of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. But him and Frank Warren told you there would be a trilogy before the first punch was thrown in the first fight. You guys all of a sudden act like y'all got amnesia. Y'all act like this shit didn't exist. You guys were on to something when you said Glovegate, because Glovegate didn't happen. And I talked about it. I was damn near the first person, along with another brethren, to talk about this shit. And then everybody else followed script. But at the same time, I knew that there was a bigger picture issue that eventually I was going to save to talk about when the time was right. Because I said it, man, and y'all heard me say, I said something's not right with Deontay Wilder. The Bronze Bomber was not activated that night. Where was the athleticism? Where was the explosion? None of that shit was there. You know why it wasn't there? Because Deontay Wilder was in on it, man. He was paid to fucking lose. We seen this with Danny Jacobs. We seen this with Sergey Kovalev. I mean, there's too many paid to fucking losers that's been happening in boxing, and they wonder why the sport is in the fucking gutter. All to prop up Tyson Fury. They don't do this shit in the UFC, man. And when they do that shit in the UFC, they always do it to the black fighter. Notice the black fighter always gets the short end of the stick because they have to prop up their great white hopes. This is what they did with Tyson Fury, man. This is why Tyson Fury, a crack fiend twitching motherfucker, is clowning Deontay Wilder, a guy who restored his boxing career. Why do you think I'm mad at Deontay Wilder? Deontay Wilder restored Tyson Fury's crack fiend twitching ass's boxing career. And what did the crack fiend do? That's why you can't trust a fucking crack fiend, man. He twitched back into basically going into that crack fiend mode of I'm gonna screw you because I'm not on my fucking high. That's what he did to Deontay Wilder, man. And now Deontay Wilder's the butt of all fucking jokes. When you have that level of polarization, you have that level of hatred, you don't fucking lose. Floyd understood this. Ward understood this. Spence, Tank Davis, and the Charlo brothers get it. When you have that level of polarization of IE being a PB fucking seer, you don't fucking lose. You ain't got no choice but to not fucking lose. You gotta win every fucking fight. Because the second you lose, they'll be right there to clown your rabbit ass. Look what they doing to Jamal Charlo. Now they forcing his hand supposedly to say he need to fight David Benavidez when David Benavidez should be fighting the cinnamon dust over Horchata, Canelo Alvarez. That's the 168 pounder. You see how they flip the script? Because they want all these PBCers to lose because they know all these PBCers are dominating the sport. Deontay Wilder, you was right there with the other PBCers. We had Earl the True Smith as the elite 147 pounder. We had the Charlo brothers as the elite 154 and 160 pounders. We have Gervonta Tank Davis as the elite 130, 135 and 140 pounder. And you was the elite heavyweighter. And you go and trick that shit off because you want to please the reality chick that you with. If you're not alpha enough to put this woman on a fucking budget and check her ass, then you shouldn't fucking be with her in the fucking first place. I mean, what's not cold-hearted about that? What's not unadulterated about that? And what's not the cutthroat true telefashion that's associated with that? Every alpha takes care of their woman, but the woman knows their fucking place to know that when you're taking care of them, that doesn't mean that they get to dictate the terms. If that's the case, excoriate them asses up out of there and find somebody that's willing to be in their place that gets it. But you can't do that. Lately, you've been showing a lot of pure fucking beta supreme tendencies, and you have a litany of pure fucking beta supremes in the LDBC that's supporting your bullshit and fuck shit. I done told you guys, man, this is the delineation, the distinction, the gulf, and the separation between alphas and betas. Alphas don't follow, they fucking lead. And lately, Deontay Wilder's been doing a lot of fucking following. That alpha energy that I saw in him, that shit has been extinguished, man. That shit has been gone a long fucking time ago. Since he took the pay to fucking lose. And now he's dealing with the ramifications of a tainted ass legacy because of the pay to fucking lose. Look how they clowning your legacy right now. A guy that tied Muhammad Ali's 10 title defenses. I gotta ride on this shit. Because I gotta tell the fucking truth, man. And I gotta tell it in its most cold-hearted, unadulterated, and cutthroat true telefashion. They act like that shit don't exist. Because you took a pay to fucking lose because you wanted money. And we knew you was strapped because you was trying to make deals with AJ. I saw at that point, okay, this motherfucker is looking like he willing to do whatever for a fucking dollar. And you wanted to be so against Floyd and so against advising getting advisement from Floyd and getting advice from Floyd and getting this from Floyd that you go and do some trickery and some fuckery. And now you so far removed from even being considered in that light. You see, this is why it's called a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, So what's not cold-hearted about what He Knows the Sport is saying? What's not unadulterated about what He Knows the Sport is saying? And what is not the cutthroat, true-teller fashion that's associated with what He Knows the Sport is saying? Deontay Wilder copped out. He took a fucking paid to lose, and now he has to deal with the ramifications of the paid to fucking lose. That's the cold-hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat, true-teller fashion. I keep the foot on the X. I'm sorry to say this, man, and it sickens me to say this, though, but I can't believe that I have to say it. I keep the foot on Deontay Wilder's neck, because I got to keep the foot on your damn neck, man, because nobody's telling you the truth. When your brother loves you, he admonishes you, man. He chastises you, he corrects you. You still got a chance, but you got a long way to climb up, dog, because the good book tells us, man, what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul at the same time? Not only did you gain the whole world and lose your soul at the same time, you lost your boxing resume. Your legacy is now tainted because on the column of your boxing resume, you got an L from a crack fiend twitching ass motherfucker that jacks his fucking ass off. Oh my gosh. I keeps the foot on the whoop on the X. I keeps the foot on the whoop on the X. Deontay Wilder, you got a long way to go, bro. So you need to stop listening to these LDBC motherfuckers. You need to get back with Al Heyman. You need to get your advisement from Floyd Money Mayweather. Because, like Mayweather said, a minor setback for a major comeback. Now, it's a lot of minor setbacks that's multiplied and exponential up in your shit because you got beat up, because you took a fucking paid to lose by a crack fiend twitching motherfucker. But there's room for a major comeback. And if there's anybody that can do it, it's your ass. But you're going to have to bend the proverbial fucking knee. And you're going to have to kiss the ring to Al Heyman and Floyd Money Mayweather. Absence doing that, bruh, I'm sorry to tell you, your career is going to go into the fucking gutter. This is He Knows the Sport. Check it out.